My favorite holiday memory, this is actually years ago when my wife and I, not long after we got married, is before I was at McAfee, before we had kids. And it was a rough time because I was working in Dallas, but my wife had to move out to LA for her job. So we were living apart. And originally she was going to come down, to Texas, spend time with the family. But the last minute she called me up and she said, well, why don't you just come out to LA, come out to the coast, we'll meet some friends, we'll have a few laughs, and it'll be a lot of fun. And I could go to the Christmas party that her company was holding and meet all of her friends. Not really crazy about flying, but I went ahead and flew out there. And so I get there, meet all of her friends, which is this big kind of corporate get together. Not really my kind of people. There was this one guy, I think his name was Ellis, was, just bragging about whatever deals they had done, just not really something that I'm normally used to. So anyway, I went into my wife's office just to kind of get away from everything. And then suddenly I hear all this commotion outside, and I hear a couple people talking very loudly. And it struck me because they were talking in accents that were vaguely European. It sounded like none of them were really from the same area. The main guy talking seemed to be half British, half German.
When Alexander saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
I noticed that they had guns, and basically it became obvious that they were there to rob the place. And so I figured, well, I needed to be able to do something to help. And so I was able to sneak away where these guys did not see me. And ultimately, I was able to contact a police officer and realize, okay, I've got to do something to help stop these people. And so ultimately, I end up having to take out all of these bad guys on my own, had my feet all cut up, everything cut up, but still amazingly able to walk and act as normal, as if nothing had happened. Until finally at the very end, I had to meet up with Hans, who was the leader. Luckily, I had some duct tape, and I was able to duct tape a weapon to my back as he was talking to me and bragging about how he was about to kill me. And I was ultimately able to take him down. But that was a really, memorable Christmas for me. At least my most memorable one as an adult. Next year, I'll tell you about one where, as a kid, it was really fun because my parents went to Europe but forgot me, and so they just left me, alone at the home. And so, but that was my favorite, I think, Christmas.
Wait a second. Isn't that the theme to Die Hard?
Die Hard was really based on my circumstance.
Die Hard.
The difference was mine took place in Dallas, and the only other differences, though, was mine, instead of being an office party, it was a party with my wife's family. And, instead of terrorists, it was my wife's family, which is not much different in that situation, right? So, existentially, it was the exact same situation as John McClane was going through. Mine probably a little bit tougher than that. But other than those little details, it's the exact same thing that happened.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.